everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. You hear that? Trey is running his lawnmower. Murdoch's working in the garden. I'm going around pruning things because with a riding lawnmower, it's a lot different than ducking when you're push mowing. We got the chainsaw going over here. Lots of activity going on, and I'm about to go get a couple of small kids who can go around and pick up sticks that I'm lopping because, like I said in a recent video, you kind of have to plan out your day. One of the first things I do, either in the morning or if I didn't already check at night, is we've got to get a weather report hour by hour for each day. We look at it for the week. It changes throughout the week, day by day, and it lets us know what we got to get done before it rains or after. So today, there's Murdoch. Would you like to show us your gift that you got?
Yeah. It has 5 digging hand tools. One like a tiny pitchfork thing and the other one. Some weird thing for probably picking root plants.
Yeah.
A regular shovel and a shovel with a measuring thing on the inside.
For planting depth.
Yeah.
So the one funny looking thing is a root weed puller, so you can really get down and get the entire root instead of just picking the top. So you've got a planting spade. The other, they just call a spade or a hand shovel. And a cultivating tool. And then, yeah, like a pitchfork. But what else you got?
Some kind of springy scissor. And
some pruning scissors.
We've got some kind of lopper thing.
Yep, and a pair of bypass pruners. But it doesn't end there.
There's also a spray bottle for watering delicate plants. Gloves that have,
look at those,
little claw things for digging small holes for planting.
Which is great for weeding when you don't, you know.
Foam measuring thing. You can also use like a little table to... Oh, this part pops out right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you can use it as a planting depth guide.
Yeah.
So it's a knee pad and a depth and a width spacing for plants.
Yeah.
But it still goes on.
There's a bag that there are a lot of spaces on the outside for the tools, even an extra one, and a bunch of room on the inside. And
so a carry-all bag.
There is also a vest that has a pocket and lots of 6 other pockets.
You can put all your seed packets in there while you're working.
Yeah.
That is quite the gift. So his big sister got him this for his birthday because she knows he is into gardening, and this is just a perfect gift for him. It is U-Coke. I'll put a link in the description down below if I can find it there for you, and you can go over to Amazon and get one sent to you. It is the most awesome complete kit I have ever seen, and it is great for anybody who's gardening, but so complete instead of going out piece by piece buying this stuff. Mine gets scattered about between little kids, so this is his own for his job. So we're trying to do a little bit of cultivating and a little bit of planting today. I picked him up. You got your onions there?
Yeah.
Show us the front. We picked these up at Tractor Supply, and you really got to feel the difference. So we do a lot of stews, liver and onions, just like steak with onions and mushrooms, things like that. You know, it's like $3 for a bag of onions. So this bag of starter onions is $3, but of course, you know, they want to sell them and they're getting at the end. So I think they were 15 or 20% off. You've got to feel when you buy them. If they're all feeling light and hollow, there's no life in them. They're expired, basically. I did that a couple of years ago, not knowing. I try to buy the ones that have the green sprouts in them. Same thing with strawberries, but you've got to be diligent about getting them planted. So Murdoch is working on that. He's reading his instructions. Cat is keeping him company. Cat always comes around to see what's going on in the garden. And then maybe we'll be able to get some straw spread out here if the rain holds off a little bit, or tomorrow. So this winter, late fall, the top of this tree broke off, and husband doesn't really want to cut it. He doesn't like cutting trees. He likes planting trees. We got a lot of firewood out of it. And Trey's running his mower for the first time. We had to get him up and get him going a little earlier than usual today because they're saying a very high chance of rain after 1. Well, that's given him, with his late nights, about 3 hours to mow. So he's starting in. Dad and I mowed this section a couple of days ago with the push mowers, but we keep finding, I just stepped on another one, these big sticks. So that's not great for your lawnmower blade. And this is where the little kids with the wagon come in handy. We just keep putting them to the side and we'll make a pile. We've probably mowed this area with the push mowers 3 or 4 times. And it's the biggest wide open section of the whole farm. Trey, like I said in the last video of him getting his mower running, you can't tell him differently than what he's got set in his mind. He is blowing his clippings back into the tall grass. So I have to correct him on that. It's good for chopping it up when it's tall, but I think it's been maybe 4 days since we mowed this. Oh, that other side over there, that's been about a week. Now, the road commission went through here a while ago and they dug our ditches out. The nice thing is, the entire length of the road and for miles and miles they did this job. And they donated us all the piles of dirt so they wouldn't have to haul it away. So we'll take that up to that sandy area that used to be the motorcycle hills that we deleted. So Dad trimmed up this with the chainsaw, which it's really a hard time of year for doing this. You can see all the sap dripping. It's just off of the pine cones. So anything that we're touching is real sappy. So I'll have to get these around and get them started for the kids and just kind of get on with the general cleanup. We planted a bunch of pine trees up here. The best pine tree, the deer nibbled on it, and this thing's probably been growing for at least 6 years. It's been here quite a while. With all the food that the deer are provided around here, they decided to attack my tree. So I don't think the top's coming back. I don't know what we'll do about that. But these little seedlings that you get by the 100 bundles, I think he said we've got maybe 14 trees. The idea is to create a snow fence with these over the years because you get into this wide open and you can't get down this section of the driveway in the winter at all. So the next job is the string trimmer, and we've got these little baby trees growing everywhere in cages because of course the deer. But we got to do weed whacking without taking out those trees. And I've got a couple of fruit trees that didn't make it. And if you buy your trees at the right place, you get a 1-year guarantee on it. So I gotta see what the growth span is on a walnut tree because I think the walnut tree is the reason they're not making it. It's just too close within that range, and everything that you can plant is generally not tolerant of that. We've got a couple wild walnut trees growing up in this row of bushes, and all of a sudden the bushes are dying off that have been there, you know, well before we came here. But you know, I'd rather have the shade tree than the row bushes. So from Dad's chainsawing job and cleaning up that fence row this week, we basically have this thing more than half filled.
You gotta stack it.
Yeah, we gotta restack. This is kind of a pile right now. But we're finding the mulberry wood, this real yellow kind of stuff. Is this oak?
Mulberry.
That's mulberry?
Well,
okay.
It's either mulberry or locust, and I can't really figure it out. Well, now I could if I looked on the internet and looked at the leaves, because there's leaves, but this stuff burns really hot. It puts out a lot of heat, but that's the one, the yellow stuff from fence rows basically is the stuff that you really shouldn't sell it for people using it in a fireplace because it sparks a lot. It throws sparks, even when you open up your furnace to feed it again. If some of that's still in there, it tries to throw sparks out, so it should be contained in a furnace.
Okay.
Or outside boiler. But anyway, it's really not really good firewood.
And it just kind of shows up along all this, however many years of overgrowth that we've been cleaning up. But we've done all of this, I don't know, several miles worth of cleanup so far, and we have probably, what would that be, maybe on right here, quarter mile, and then we'll be in really good shape.
Yeah, this will be full.
Oh,
very fast.
I mean, we could fill this many times. This right here is just 3. We went over 3 times, 1 tank of chainsaw gas per day, just a little job in between other jobs. We ended up getting usually a manure spreader load of brush, 1 bucket on the backhoe full of firewood. We did that 3 times, and then this wheelbarrow just right here from cutting out volunteer stuff under a pine tree. There was mulberry and maple and stuff like that. So anyway, that's, I mean, just to clean up, you can heat your house for a long time.
Oh, sure.
We produced maple syrup for years as we just the cleaning up, and you're gaining acreage back because this big equipment that other people use, like was used here, they just keep reaching under it. They don't really produce anything there, but it just keeps spreading out farther and farther over the years, and it's kind of ridiculous.
Well, and we found too, people have asked us like how many cords of wood we might go through in the wood furnace or in the maple syrup. We cut them all different lengths, just depending on what's there and who's helping and how he wants to stack it. So it's not anything that we're measuring.
Sloppy and make it work out best for you and the chainsaw if you're not going to sell it.
Yeah.
When I used to sell it for income as a teenager, then you're literally, it has to be uniform, and they want, if it's all cherry, it needs to be all cherry. This is everything in the fence row just thrown in, maple, oak, the garbage in with the good, and it just gets thrown in. So it's like maple syrup. If it's for you, it's just kind of whatever. Yeah,
it's just free heat for this winter. We'll be cozy. Sometimes it's really good to split up the work. I mentioned that in the video with the boys helping with different things. I don't want to be responsible for lopping off his baby trees. A lot of these were transplants, white oaks and red oaks. But if you can get a viable transplant from somewhere on the farm for free, you're saving money, and you know we're frugal. This guy, I'm sure, is having a hard time. He's out there directing his brother where to go and what to do. He's telling him stay away from the ditch. So he's 12. The mower is supposed to be for all of them. So the 16-year-old's like, I want to turn. Trey is so worried about that mower getting rained on that he thought he'd be done. And this area's had the most growth. So I'm like, no, until it starts sprinkling, just keep going. So give him a break to eat some breakfast. And Jack's gonna take over and do this. But he wants to show him and tell him how to do it, how to stay away. And Jack needs to be reminded about the muffler so that he doesn't run into one of these baby trees. Because like I was looking, this was a whole row and there's only one there. So I might see about some clearance trees. It gets to the point that they don't want to water them, and it's better for the stores to clearance them out cheap than to return them back to the nursery. So sometimes they'll just take them as a loss. I talked to somebody at a growing nursery a while back, and he said the grower doesn't actually get paid sometimes for their trees from some of those places. They're only actually getting paid for what's sold. So I'm glad I'm not in that business. You cut Christmas trees, you pick pumpkins, that kind of thing. Anything extra can be used for seed or feed. So that's nice. They're doing good. So the kids have been busy riding their bike, but I haven't had much of a chance. Oh, Betsy sees daisies for picking. You sure can. We'll sit here and you can pick. So these guys wanted to go for a little ride, and I noticed a tractor I thought needed a muffler cover because of the rain, so we rode our bikes. Where's your flowers? Oh, I thought you saw some. Well, everything's in bloom, and I'd be working the bees today if it wasn't going to rain, but they're all home, and I learned my lesson about that. Better to work the bees when they're out working during the day than all at home. Yeah, so now we're uphill and I'm out of breath. We gotta ride downhill back. And then we'll just ride the circle. And that's the nice thing about the driveway. Being a big circle open drive, and we've got this lane with gravel. We don't have to go out on the road with the trailer beer cans in the ditches. And it's officially summer break now, so the kids aren't going to school. The landscapers are going by on their boss's vehicles way too fast. And it's funny, because we live near a crossroad, they're either flying towards the stop sign or they're flying away from the stop sign, because the other road is a lot more chatterbumpy than ours. So when they get to our road, they're trying to make up for any time that they lost by going slow on that road or for slowing down for the stop sign. So George knows, circle bike rides, stay away from the road whenever we're up there. Yeah. It's a nice way to be spending our day before it rains. Bethany and I decided we'll get out some checkers and do some board games when the mowing and the garden stuff is done. So Murdoch's almost done planting his onion seeds, so we're gonna go up there and go check on him, okay?
Okay, let's go down. Buddy, come on.
Lately, I'm ending up behind the camera a lot, and it's amazing to me that the auto thumbnail picker is picking a shot of my face, and it's always with my mouth wide open talking about something. So fortunately, with this new phone, I'm being able to do a lot of editing and uploading, so you may notice some differences in some of the videos. Occasionally when I upload, it'll put like a black box around the entire video. I haven't figured out why it's doing all that, but it's not 100% of the time, so I don't know. You'll see me when you see me, so this is just a little chance for me to say hi. Thanks for watching. If I forget, we always appreciate your views, your comments, and we try to answer what we can. We may not always answer right away. If it's a technical question and I need him to answer, who knows when it might get answered. But just know we see every single comment. We try to always comment. If it's, just thanks, you helped my video, we'll give you a thumbs up or a like, whatever. Just like you do back to us. So thanks for taking time in your day to watch our videos.
Go, go, go.
That's right where it turns to uphill. And we've lost Bethany right at the spot that I don't want to stop pedaling because that's hard on my old knees. And this is how maintenance gets taught. He's blowing it all out so that nothing is wet in there. As soon as it started sprinkling, he started yelling at Jack that it was time to stop because he didn't want it to get rained on. So while everything's cooling off, we never put away a hot mower, especially in a shop this full of stuff. There's too many valuable things that we don't want to lose a shop to a hot engine sparking dry grass. So blow all the clippings from the ground right out here, and then you don't have to sweep. Like from that side? Yeah. Good job. So there's the maintenance. We got the mowing done.
A good bit too.
We basically just barely got up to the house and I felt my first sprinkle. And then I heard you telling your brother to stop. So I just finished planting a bunch of zinnia seeds in the pots. We planted some, what else did we plant? Chrysanthemums and clematis. And again, we're using old seeds and testing that viability, but you don't know if you don't put them in. And we never leave our equipment out. I'm not a proponent of spending money to throw in the ground, mulch, landscaping stuff, but this is for food's sake. So Jack did a little cultivating here, keep up on the weeds so that it stays maintained. You see, we got a lot growing here. This is only a few days. It's just taken right off with this heat rain rotation. So we're going to take a break for some lunch and some indoor chores and whatever else is going to be next, I don't know, but our days are full, but the thing that we planned on doing is all set and taken care of. So we can go on to like a grocery shopping list, ordering supplies, anything that needs to be ordered online. It's a raining day now, and I think it's going to rain for the rest of the day. So this puts us indoors, either in the shop or in the house for after lunch. So until we start the next project and start filming, you can go through the playlist, select something nice to watch, set it on autoplay, do your chores, and just listen to us talk and see us work. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.